We just can't take over the thing. Let me give you a quick example. So I do a lot of mentoring to a lot of young students, both at the undergrad level, law school, and even young lawyers and even young judges.
Okay.
A young lady was introduced to me through a mutual friend. Hey, she is interested in law. She was only a junior in high school.
Okay.
So I appreciated how she was on the go. He said, well, maybe it would be good that you meet her. You could be a mentor. I said, oh, that would be great, sure. Here's the address. She can come to my court. We'll hook it up. She shows up with her mom, which, was no big deal. I mean, she was a junior in high school.
Okay.
So they came in and brought him back to chamber. Said, hey, how you doing? You chopping it up. Yeah, so tell me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And so instead of answering my question, she started to look over at her mom.
Mm. I'm
looking at both of them like, and then the mom started talking. Well, she's gonna hold on.
Yeah.
I'm asking her.
Right.
Hold on. I'm asking her. So I want to hear from her. So then again, I'm asking her, so tell me. And again, she's tongue-tied. She's looking over at mom, and mom just, okay, no, you got to understand. I said, no. I think I already understand. Mom, I'll tell you what. I need you to go back outside and wait. I need to go sit outside in the gallery and wait and let me in. And I got to have a conversation.
Right.
Okay. And so we did have a conversation. And lo and behold, she was wanting to be able to assert herself without mom, but just really didn't know how to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about that, and then when I brought mom back, I had a conversation with her in terms of, look, you want her to realize her potential, you've got to get out of the way, period.
Wow.
Period. And lo and behold, she laughed at me now.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, coming in here interfering with my daughter. But she went on to graduate with honors from high school, graduated with honors from Howard University.
Wow.
And she's now about to go to law school.
Wow.
And we laugh at
now.
Okay, now we had to cut that cord, the proverbial the cord, so that she can thrive. But for a purposeful thought about the engagement has to be, from a distance. It can't be interfering with her ability to think for herself. Critical thinking, man, across the board. We can spend a whole hour talking about critical thinking because that is just diminishing all over.
It's tough when a parent has to do it by themselves. Oh, yeah. So that's never easy. But let's talk about, and we can stay on this. This is a good topic, but I want to get to you at Hume Fogg.
Okay.
We talk about you scholastically and academically at Hume Fogg, and then what made you choose Morehouse?
Aha, that's a really easy question.
Okay.
So, Hume Fogg opened in 1983.
Okay.
It used to be the old school tech school, and then it was converted to Hume Fogg Academic. In 1983, it was a charter, basically that we're going to have a magnet school, and we're going to bring students from all over Davidson County to the school for this accelerated college preparatory program. Now, mind you, when it opened, there was no template, there was no precedent, there was no other school for which let's see how we can do this.
Right.
So it was a student's traumatic experiment.
So what year was this?
This was 1983.
83, okay.
1983. And so they had us, for example, doing 30-page handwritten journals on Huckleberry Finn. Like, who does that? And all of the classes were honors classes. Every single class was honors classes.
Wow.
We didn't have any standard stuff. Everything was honors and advanced placement.
Wow.
The
college prep.
The requirement was you had to have 3 years of foreign language, 3 years of math, 3 years of science. I mean, so that was, my in science I took biology, chemistry, and physics.
As a freshman?
Oh no, I was
okay, got it.
Right. And in math, it was geometry, algebra 2, and trigonometry. Come on, I'm not the math guy. I said, you think I should be able to take some other classes, but this was a requirement. Anyway, we somehow succeeded and made that happen. Now, Morehouse, growing up with Jeffrey Blackshear and his dad, Julian Blackshear.
Yeah.
Former professor at TSU, one of the first African Americans to graduate from University of Tennessee Law School. They actually have a scholarship named after him because of him being one of the pioneers. And so when Jody, affectionately call it Jody, when he would take us home pick us up from school after basketball practice or band or whatever, he would always just tell these incredible stories about, one, going to Morehouse, and two, his trials, his cases as a lawyer. So you can imagine listening to these stories every day. We're talking since I was a little kid. I'm like, okay, I'm going to Morehouse. I'm going to be a lawyer.
Right.
Just like that, and without even
believing the impossible.
Exactly.
And let me say this real fast. The importance of a tribe is, I think we had that. I cannot speak to that to the new parents of today. I don't know who they hang with. I don't know their influences. But our influences were just in depth. My mother worked at Meharry Hospital for 44 years. So I would go see her. All I saw was black doctors, black professors.
Exactly.
Then my dad worked at the post office. So I saw, blue collar workers. You know what I'm saying? So I had both worlds. And they just wouldn't say hello. It was a conversation. What are you doing? How are your grades? Are you behaving? Take care of your mom and dad.
Exactly.
And so that type of stuff, it has to be ingrained in you in some way. And so after a while, Mr. Blackshear was talking to you, pouring into you.
And then putting you on the hot seat just to cause you to think critically.
Right.
Ask you, so what do you think about this? And then it twisted and like, oh my goodness. And so you bobbing and weaving like you're in proverbial hot seat.
Right.
And but it was great. And all that was preparatory to, I want to be a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like that.
So,
just from a simple conversation.
Well, many conversations.
Right.
Many conversations. And, some people, they talk about me. You need to have your wish schools and your safe schools, right? I only applied to Morehouse.
I was going to ask, how many schools did you apply to?
I only applied to Morehouse.
Wow. What'd you make on the ACT?
Gosh, I can't remember that, but it wasn't that good.
Okay.
I remember that. It wasn't a high score or anything like that, but I had, good grades, I had good community service, and I was, a student athlete.
Right.
Back then, I'm trying to remember what else did they looked at SAT scores.
You have an essay at it, right? Essay?
Yeah.
Essay.
Personal statement.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And there were 3 guys from Hume Fogg that went to Morehouse that year in the fall of '87. Jeff Blackshear went to Morehouse, and Edwin Sanders. He also went to Morehouse. And then we had some other people the year after, Alan Williams.
The great Alan
Williams. He went to Morehouse the following year. Derek Mason.
Yes.
Went on to be a dentist.
Dennis, great dentist. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Then we had after that Michael Vesey came out of Hume Fogg. He ended up becoming an ambassador, some diplomat.
Oh wow!
Shout
out to him.
Yeah, Hume Fogg and Morehouse was like, wow, you guys.
Oh yeah, what's in the water?
Exactly.
I remember being at Ewing Park and thinking that Alan Williams is the smartest guy I've ever met in my life.
And that would not be far fetched.
He would do this is when the Rubik's Cube came out, and he could do the Rubik's Cube in seconds. it was just amazing. He was so humble, and we all were goofy and couldn't even walk and chew bubble gum, man. But when it come to his lesson, as my dad would call it, he was phenomenal.
And you have to remember, he skipped a grade.
Yeah,
Alan skipped a grade. He was my roommate my junior year.
Wow.
And so I got to witness personally, this dude.
Just pick it up. Just
golly, yeah. Alan, he's brilliant.
I went to a school with a guy that had a photographic memory.
Oh wow.
He played baseball, man. We'd be up all night cramming. He's an hour before the exam.
Just take a look.
I can't stand it.
Like the guy on Suits.
Oh my goodness.
Mike Ross.
Yeah. Just education. He picked up on it. And he knew keywords to make him remember, and he just didn't stress it. First of all, he just one of them guys that it is what it is.
Yeah.
And typically, they do well.
Yeah.
So, Morehouse did 4 years. How was it coming from? This is a good question. How was it coming from Hume Fogg when it was tons of diversity? to Morehouse in Atlanta in the middle of the ghetto. I bet, I used to go to a church near Morehouse, and my doors were locked as I was going past Morehouse. It was an interesting part of Atlanta. How was that? Let's talk about coming from Hemi Fargo to Morehouse.
Well, I got a gun pulled on me twice in my first 2 years.
Oh my God.
And look, this the first time. We're coming back from at Emory.
Okay.
And you had to take the bus and the MARTA.
Come on, right.
Right, to get out there. And so we're coming back. It's late.
Y'all were thugging it. Y'all know MARTA, boy. Y'all was.
Right. We're doing it.
Yeah.
So we're coming back. It's late. It's probably approaching between 11 and 12. It's late at night, and we're coming down Westview. And it was cold. And that probably saved my life. It was cold, so we were, jogging, trying to get on back to campus, get out the cold. So as we're coming down, this other dude, he approaches, coming in the opposite direction. He's crossing the street, and he comes over to where we are. So we jog right by him, but as he crosses the street, then he pulls up, like kind of behind, and now he's kind of semi-jogging a little bit behind me. So
right.
He says, "Oh, I'm sorry." As he crossed the street, he said, "Hey, y'all got a light?" I said, "No, we don't smoke." We kept going. But then he pulled up. He says, "Okay, well, give me the money then." So he's trying to rob me. I'm not even paying attention to him.
Right.
I don't realize that I'm in danger right now. He said, "Give me the money." He says, "I ain't got none, right?" I'm just trying to give me the money. Man, I ain't got no money, man. I'm thinking, why is he pestering me? Again,
right.
Not appreciating
not knowing. Right.
He says, slow down. I was like, no, I'm not slowing down. Right? So I'm just disrespecting this dude trying to rob me. He said, you better slow down and stop. I'm going to blow your blankety-blank head off. And then he sped up in front of me and pulled out a gun out from his trousers. And I was like, I'm moving and still jogging. When I see the gun, I scream, and just instinctively, I immediately kind of pivot to the left, trying to get out of his line of sight.
Right.
But he's not. He's probably thinking, "Dang, maybe this dude doesn't have anybody. I'm not going to try to murder anybody for nothing." So he looks. I remember it looked like yesterday. He looked at me, put the gun back, and then he kept going in the opposite direction. And so my heart starts. You feel that coldness in your body. And then as I start to kind of get my breath back, in some strange fashion, I actually turn my head to kind of watch him, soak off into the shadow.
Oh, you got to watch him.
Yeah, this is my freshman year. So that was the back when I called him and says, "I got a gun pulled on me." "Oh, wow, you okay?" I said, "Yeah, okay."
Wow.
And he'd keep it moving. But here's what was very powerful about that Morehouse. You literally would go days, weeks, without seeing a white face.
Okay.
That was powerful. Why was it powerful? Because all of those black people that you are seeing, they were about the business. So now you're in an environment where everybody is trying to be excellent. Everybody is trying to be at the top of the game. In fact, on my floor at Hubert Hall, shout out to Hero. On my floor alone, I think everybody on that floor had experience in SGA, either as president. They were all captains of the basketball team. They were all leaders in the top of their class, near the top of their class,
right.
Where they came from, all over the country. And like here we all are now on the same floor.
Right.
And now here we are trying to get this Morehouse pedigree. You can't help but want to, I got to come in here and bring the noise. I don't be left behind because these people are hustling and grinding and taking care of business. And everybody's talking about being excellent. Nobody's talking about just shucking and jiving.
Right.
Everybody's talking about, I'm going next level. I'm doing this so I can go here. I can go here. And it was like, yeah, okay. That's what I'm going to do.
Is that not amazing?
Beautiful.
Iron sharpened.
That's it.
Iron.
Say it.
And what I've learned, just as you had your anxiety about them, they had the anxiety about you. Mm-hmm. So everybody's like, okay, constantly a healthy competition.
Healthy.
Because if you win, I win. I'm gonna gain something through conversation.
Right.
And better component, lifelong friends. I'm sure when you go back to homecoming, it's like
lifelong. It's lifelong.
Lifelong.
We throw the ball hard, and we go back homecoming.
Yeah.
We talk about the good old days.
Yeah.
Like, and the pride we had in our dorm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Wow.
It's beautiful. And you talk about fast forward. So next year will be our 35th anniversary.
Wow.
Class of 1991, right? I look back at those jokers who were in the dorm, and we go hang out and shoot. And we try to put together $1.50 so we can share a Subway sandwich.
That breeds character.
and then I look down the hall, and in my mental Rolodex, and I see, okay, that dude, he's a judge now. This dude, he's chief of staff of this hospital.
Wow.
This dude, he owns a fuel company selling petroleum and gas to trucks and planes. We got this guy, on Wall Street. This guy, he's a lawyer. This guy's a doctor. This guy's a dentist. This guy's a businessman. And this is just on our floor.
Wow.
Just our floor. I could go, and it was like, man, these dudes, they all just blew up and
That environment
took care of business, right?
Wow.
The environment fostered that sense of excellence, taking care of business, and case in point, Raphael Warnock, Senator Warnock from Georgia. He went to Morehouse. He was in that class.
Wow.
He wasn't in that dorm, but he was in our class.
You know the great thing you said, one of the great things you just said about rubbing peanuts together to get a Subway sandwich. That breeds character.
Yes,
It does. I can recall, and this interview isn't about me, but you just pricked my interest of, at Trevecca, dinner was over at 6:15.
Okay.
So you're 18 years old. You stay hungry.
Absolutely.
By 9 o'clock, I'm ready to eat the bricks, the paint off the wall guy. And they would have a Trevecca special from Domino's, a $5 pizza. Imagine 7 guys on a $5 pizza.
Yeah.
And so those times, and I tell my son, things are gonna be tight, man. Money's gonna be tight at some point until you get it together. So if you don't have any experience of eating Roman noodles, eating a bologna sandwich, or eating
government cheese.
Come
on now, the beef to do.
or eating a $5 cheese pizza from Little Caesars, you would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to have those experiences.
You can't take this stuff for granted, right?
You know.
Can't take stuff for granted. I had my little summer gig at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'd get up at 5 a.m. to unload the truck. So we carrying these 44-pound boxes of French fries, 40-pound boxes of quarter-pounders of cheese.
Wow.
And that was good stuff. It was work, and it taught me about the importance of working hard, coming to work on time. It was beautiful.
You gotta be on time.
Look, the expression to be on time is to be late.
That's right.
To be on time is to be
That's
late.
right.
So you need to get there before things start to be on time.
So you graduate from Morehouse. You make your way from the 2 robbing incidents. It didn't deter you from Atlanta. And that has a lot to offer, good, bad, and indifferent.
Right.
Okay. So
And I stayed on campus all 4 years. I was a resident assistant, so I was actually responsible for the students. After I became a upperclassman, I was responsible for the students to make sure that they stay focused and that anything they needed as related to dorm life, student life, I was that guy.
got it.
So that was also important in terms of, again, pouring into other students to make sure that they're good to go.
So you do your 4 years and then you graduate. What's your mindset once you walk across that stage? Your family's there, your brothers are there. What's your next step?
It was a very short-lived celebration because I knew I was going to law school.
Okay.
So go back to the conversation with Julian Blackshear. I'm going to go to Morehouse and I'm going to be a lawyer. So early on, I'm talking all the way back to when I was in the first grade. I thought about and was intentional about doing anything and everything that would prepare me to be an excellent lawyer. So
Wow.
we're talking anything that would test my critical thinking, anything where I got a chance to do some good writing, persuasive writing or just writing in terms of honing my craft to be able to express myself in a written fashion, and then also an opportunity to work on my oratory. Case in point, and this was delivered, but of course this wasn't my advertised. When we were Kings Lane in the 6th grade, I was the MC of the talent show. And you don't think about that like a big deal, but when you the MC, you're managing the schedule and keeping the acts going.
That's right.
And making presentations in front of this audience and try to keep things lively.
Right.
Yeah, that's an opportunity for me to work on my skill set. And so you're doing that as a 6th grader.
Wow.
As you keep going on and doing more of those things as you get older, guess what? When it's time for me to make my closing argument, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm so happy to be able to talk to you about why you should find in favor of my client. And it's like natural.
Wow.
It's just natural, right? Because you've been doing it so many times.
Wow.
The literal and proverbial muscle memory. And so everything I did was designed to do that. So after graduation, okay, I'm good. So, but we finished strong, and was looking forward to after graduating, get right back into it. I know people nowadays you talk about this gap year. I'm always against it.
Whoa.
We can debate about the efficacy of whether a gap year is important, but I tell everybody, look, just go in there and take care of business. If this is your end game, this is your objective. I want to be a lawyer. Okay, why you
get it going?
Why you losing a year when you can be doing that? Well, I need to get work experience. No, you don't. You need to get that degree, then you go take the bar,
right?
And then you get the experience when you get out there. So, I mean, there are lots of paths. I just believe that, hey, if that's what you're trying to do, then go do it.
Did you find any unhealthy experiences at Vanderbilt coming from Morehouse? And look at your trajectory. You go from a diverse environment at Hume Falls. You go for weeks, a month without seeing a white person, a Caucasian person. Then you go back to that diverse environment. How was it? Did it take time to make an adjustment, or you just kind of go with the flow?
Beautiful, man.
I got good questions, guys.
They're beautiful.
I got good questions.
So, the people who indicate, well, a historically black college is not a good opportunity because it's not the real world. And therefore, since it's not the real world, you don't know how to really deal with people. I'm like, okay. So, when we're talking about sending soldiers into combat, do you throw them behind enemy lines and get them to figure out this fighting stuff in the real-time situation, or do you isolate them in the boot camp,
right,
where they train and they specifically train so that they can go behind enemy lines and take care of business? That's what HBCU is. The training camp. The training camps and training grounds for people to go out into the real world and be successful. So coming out of Morehouse to Vandy, I'm like, got this. What y'all got? What you got? And then of course, but then you do see the racism and the stuff. I have a couple of stories where over the rec center, where you know,
yeah, oh yeah,
we've worked out and all this stuff. Great pickup games. I remember you see Booker.
Barry Booker.
Barry Booker will be in there, and then of course, you know, Barry Goheen was one of my classmates.
No,
Barry Goheen was one of my classmates.
Highly underrated Vanderbilt player. That left hand was tough.
Mr. Buzzer Beater. Oh man, he was the bomb. We actually convinced him to play our third year.
Oh my goodness.
So Goheen was there. And of course, McCaffrey.
Okay.
He transferred from Duke to Vanderbilt. He'd be up there. So we're playing. I probably played more than I should have. I could have been in class. I'll go ahead and confess and admit that. So it may have been a class too that I didn't attend, and I was out there getting my exercise. You know, wellness is important as well, right?
Absolutely.
So
health as well.
So I'm out there, and of course I'm giving them blues. I'm killing them.
Of course you are.
And I'm talking so much mess, and that was also part of my game. mental cerebral aspect of intimidating people mentally, so that they couldn't compete, they couldn't focus because my mouth would just continually going on. And this dude, and he was one of the better players, but I guess he just got tired of my mouth, and he said under his breath, "Can I say nigga?"
You say
it. He said, "Cocky nigga." And of course, he didn't say it to me. He said under his breath, but one of my boys said, "Man," and he told me afterwards, he says, "Yeah, man, you won't believe what he said." I said, "Oh, look at that." Because I always looked at him differently, like, okay, but now I see what you're about. You don't wear that stuff on your sleeve, but okay. But again, that's on him. Him describing me as this cocky nigga had nothing to do with me giving them the business. I'm gonna be the same anyway. I'll be the same anyway. So, and there was another time. I remember this like yesterday too. I had this gig where I would sit at the desk and help check people in going into the library. And one of my classmates, he was on law review, he was on root court, and we got into the discussion about affirmative action. Okay. And he was so mad that someone he knew from his high school or undergrad who was black got into Harvard. Basically was blaming the black guy for taking his spot.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
And so he's going on, and I'm looking at him. Okay, hold on, let me check this out. Let me see. Let me get this straight.
Process right.
So you're at a top 20 law school. At the time, Fannie Franklin featured in the country. You're on law review at this top 20 law school. You're also on moot court on this top 20 law school, and you have a couple of offers of employment upon graduation. So how have you been mistreated? And of course, he never looked at it that way. He looked at it from the perspective of, well, I wanted to go to Harvard. I should have been at Harvard, and oh, woe is freaking me that I didn't get to Harvard. And this black guy who. All you can say is if this black guy got it. Can't talk anything about the holistic student as to why he got in. But again, the complaints about not getting into Harvard in the midst of all of these things that he had going for him, it was like, you got to be kidding me. And he did have a pause. He did pause when I basically asked him to rewrite the narrative, rewrite his perspective on what he had versus what he didn't have.
Wow.
And it was eye-opening for him.
I had a similar situation in Tribeca. Mind you, it's the direct opposite of going to Morehouse with seeing white people. These white people ain't seen many black folk. Exactly. And my first time meeting white people that hadn't met a black person other than seeing them on television. And this is 88. And when we had four channels, 2, 4, and 5, and maybe 17, 8,
and maybe 17.
Maybe 15.
He just used the antenna.
And so, a basketball, two instances. One, I ain't gonna say the guy's name. He's a good friend. I don't want to say his name, but he's a good friend of mine. And I would say the N-word all the time. NWA came out, it was nigga. So we're in the dorm room, we getting ready for class, we at the sink and stuff, shaving and stuff. He said, "What's up, my nigga?" And I was paused, should I beat him up, cuss him out, or do I give him some information? Information is always key. And he said, and he put me in my place, he said, "David, well, I heard you say it. I thought it was cool." But he's not you. He's not you. Okay, we'll talk about that later. I'm going to say his name again. And he supposed to invite me over to his house. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. And so the second time was a teammate of mine. A guy named Cheeks. I didn't like him. They called him Cheeks. They're real big Cheeks. He's from Louisiana. I can call him out. I never liked him. And he said it with passion. He said it like he had been saying it his whole life. And I had to, as a friend of mine told me this not long ago, disrespect requires distance. Okay? You're disrespectful, I'm just going to give it to you unmercifully in practice. Like you on my list until you leave. And I made it very hard on him, guy. Very hard. He didn't get a shot. I'm fouling him hard every time.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? That's my get back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you just remind me of a similar story that started in high school, and then 30 years later, it kind of came full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was the captain of the basketball team. I was starting point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hanging out at the gym quite a bit.
PT, leadership.
This white guy came up to me and said, hey, you know, why don't we play some one-on-one? Mind you, the gym is just filled with people just kind of coming in and out in between classes. And I'm like, no, man. One, I would have destroyed him. There was no point in me playing this guy. I mean, what would I look like beating up on him, right? So I said, no, man, you know what? I don't really play people one-on-one, which wasn't true. We played one-on-one all the time in practice. Yeah, no, I'm going to play one-on-one. It's all good. We'd rather play four. I said, no, man, come on this way. No, man, you know, that's just not really my It's probably the spring of '87.
Wow.
And I looked at him. I said, you know, okay, let's do this.
Right.
Let's duck down. Check ball.
Yeah.
Come on. No, he's looking. Yeah. Come on, nigga. No. He's looking all cocky, thinking I'm gonna call this guy and I'm gonna humiliate him. Check it out. Give it to him. He tried to make something. Ridiculous. Of course, I was.
Oh, you locked in. You locked in now. It's game time.
Dave, when he went up for the shot, I blocked it and blocked him so hard. I literally threw him to the ground with the block shot. And everybody was cheering like, woo, yay. And he was absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah.
For all these people after trying to make me this spectacle, here he is embarrassed. And I looked at him and says, okay, happy now? Then I just walked off. Fast forward 30 years later. 30 years later, we're at our reunion. We're actually on one of the rooftops of one of the restaurants downtown. We'll have a good time. Everybody's
festive.
Chilling. Yeah, it's great. You know, 30 years later, we're happy to be here. Nobody's, fronting or flossing. There's just good old fellowship. And I see that sucker.
No, you don't.
Now, he looked like life not being kind to him. He was little. We're all a little bigger, but
a little poorly.
He looked like he'd been through some stuff. So he walked in. I looked at him. I'll be dang. He's looking around and he looks like he's looking for some people. So he kind of walked around and he's stopping and he keeps moving like he's looking for some other people. He literally does the whole thing. I'm watching him all the time. And I realized he's gonna recognize anybody, and nobody's saying anything to him either. So he's and then he goes all the way around. Then he gets back to the elevator like he's about to just leave. Like he didn't see anybody. And I guess I can say his name. Anyway, I said, so hey Chris. I just say his first name. Hey Chris, what's going on? Hey, he's trying to shoot him. Hey man, it's Rupert. How you doing? Hey man, come on. You're in the right place. You look lost.
Oh wow.
You look lost. We're in the right place. Wow. Yeah, come on, look everybody. Hey, y'all remember Chris? Hey Chris. And so then he's like, oh. And so he kind of inches his way into the and starts to, I guess, reacquaint himself to people. And I was just thinking like, wow. I wonder how many people's lives he negatively impacted. Assume that he had that mindset when we had our confrontation in high school. And I just all these feelings and emotions came up to me like, yeah, that's unfortunate. That if he's been in a position to employ people, to supervise people, he had that mindset.
Right.
I wondered, did he grow out of it? And at the same time, even though I had to resist the urge to say, remember that time you called me and I embarrassed you? I resist all that. Right. None of that came up.
No,
in fact, I
that.
welcomed him into the room and said, hey, everybody. But I didn't forget. I'm sorry.
You found both.
I didn't forget what happened.
Wow. Chris Rock tells a similar story of when he was making the movie Top 5, which is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
You should look it up. And a guy used to bully him incredibly. Was a security guard on the set of his movie. Right? And Chris Rock, he said, man, I thought about just embarrassing him. Because he directed the movie. It's his movie. So he had total autonomy over everything. He said, for a second, I thought about, just embarrassing him how he used to bully me in high school. But he said, I couldn't do it. So my success was enough. You see what I'm saying? Me being the bigger person was enough. And a lot of times, man, we think our mouth is the way to get people back. Sometimes you got to put your nose to the grind and let the universe determine that for them. You know what I mean? And so that's big of you.
Yeah, I was.
But that get back was on your. It was there.
It was right there.
Yeah,
it was right there.
Yeah, well, that's normal. You're a man and you're an athlete. First of all, you're an athlete, and then you're a point guard. And see, point guards have to know what everybody is supposed to do before they do it, and they take the shot. They can take the heat. You see what I'm saying? That's why I love Chris Paul. He can handle any situation, good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. You want to fight, he willing to fight. You want to play dirty, he'll play dirty.
Right.
However you want to do it. So, aside from this, let's go to, you graduate from Vanderbilt. Okay, and this is what I really want to talk about. Not your airborne little Chris. Shout out to Chris, whatever you're doing. Let's talk about you graduating from Vandy. What's your next step?
And that is a good question because here I am coming out of law school and I really did not have anything lined up. Some people are fortunate, like the friend who was complaining about not getting to Harvard, he had offers. I didn't have offers because, well, my decision to go out to LA was, how can I diplomatically say this? It was kind of imposed upon me.
This is right after graduation.
Right after graduation. I had not initially planned to move to California. I was going to consider it, but in terms of my strengths and my networks that were already had existed in Nashville, growing up here, and also in Atlanta with the Morehouse connection, Nashville and Atlanta seemed the more natural places to start my career. It didn't happen. Because that's the case. Goes to show God's intervention and destiny. And I was supposed to be out in California. So
what side?
So that's how I came. So when I moved to California, right after graduation, I had no plans, had no contacts, no leverage, no reputation. I literally was this fish that got dropped in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
Okay, figure it out.
Rupert Byrdsong, number 54321. That's it.
That's it.
The grind is real.
No one could vouch for me. No one could say, "Oh yeah, Rupert's upstanding." Nothing. This was the literal cold call. And so as soon as I moved out, I had to start studying for the bar. So I didn't have a chance to at least get my resume out. And again, I knew that God was going to do something with my life. That's all I knew. Knew that.
Yeah.
And after I took the bar, met an attorney from this black law firm who knew my fiance at the time. And we talked. I said, "Hey, listen, my fiance just took the bar. Oh, okay. Well, we're actually looking for new people. What are you interested in?" "Well, I'm interested in litigation, in particular employment." "Wow, that's an area that we are actually looking to develop." Dude, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. And so from that, I set my resume. I want to move out there. I didn't have a chance to start doing that because I had to start studying for the bar right away. Wow. So then my first resume goes out to this law firm. They bring me in for an interview. The partner says, "You know what, I'm going to recommend that my partner hire you. I'm going to hire this other guy." Brought me back for a second interview. "We'll get back to you in about 10 days. I said, "That's fine because I'm about to get married and go on the honeymoon." The week after the honeymoon, and I was hired that week.
Wow.
And I was at the law firm for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that was nothing for God. Once I got to the firm, though, now I'm in an opportunity to interact, to develop my craft.
Right.
I was given a lot of responsibility early on, which, for better or worse, it helped me to become a pretty good lawyer, to get my name out there, to develop the reputation. Like, oh, okay, Rupert knows what he's doing. This guy is sharp. This guy is good.
Right.
Just like remember Dr. J said this a long time ago. It's the difference between he said this here. The difference between the all-star person and a person on the bench is really just opportunity to play, because everybody at this level can play. Numbers called, and you go get out there. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Right. And so it's like Jeremy Lin. All of a sudden, he becomes this guy because he got the opportunity to show his stuff. So anyway. I won't talk about sports. We can talk sports. Yeah, you already know. You already know. We talk sports. So that's what helped me to be one of the top employment lawyers at the time. Wow. Clients would give us a lot of work, and I got to do trials. I actually got to do the stuff that lawyers actually do. Lawyer work. Yeah. You go to court. You make arguments. You take depositions. You interact with the client. You go into the back room and see how the operation is done. Oh, wow. What did we do here and what did we do here? And, oh, y'all screwed up. I need some money. That kind of deal. Wow. And so, wonderful time. I have a question for you. So did that toughness come from your dad? Or just being able to go into rooms and be confident and just, of course, you put the work in. The more work you put in, the confident you are. But I'm talking about a baseline. Baseline, a combination of, watching my parents' movie. Right. Morehouse, man. Undoubtedly. I mean, there's like cliches. You can always tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. Right. It's like that. Okay. Yeah. It's like that. And it's like you can't tell these brothers that they don't have it going on. You just can't tell them that they know. They know. And then, like, oh, y'all just look at the track record. I graduate. Look what they're doing. Right. That's why I look back at the people who were on my floor. Chief of staff of a hospital in their 50s, right? Wow. Come on, a black man is the head of a hospital. Come on, man. Who does that? Actually, there was another judge from my floor. So 2 judges on the same floor. Wow. Come in and about 2 or 3 lawyers. Lamb, he was a lawyer in South Carolina. Otto was in Columbus, Ohio. Man, it was. Yeah, it was like, okay, this is what we're about. And so that foundation clearly gave me the confidence and the wherewithal to be like, okay, I'm gonna go in. Okay. And handle. Now that doesn't give me another story. I've told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it to this audience. So please do. I got the single lowest grade in property. My guy. It was 1 C- out of 90 people, and it went to me. So we had this thing called the Wailing Wall. So they would post. Now this is Morehouse. This is Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. Okay. They would post the grades on what we call the Wailing Wall, because you see people start wailing. So you had the student number, and then you put the grade. So I go to property, and I see my grade is C-, and I'm looking at all the other grades. There's only 1 C-. And I'm like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I'm the dumbest student in the class? I thought I did well in that class. I actually liked it. I took lots of notes. I wrote several blue books in the final exam. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is great. This is what I get for all this hard work. This is a really good lesson about don't stop working hard. So this next semester, I'm thinking, well, this is what you get when you work hard. What's the point? Right. So I basically took off. The second semester day, I was like, oh, man, forget that. Yeah, you're mad. And that's what I'm mad. That's when I'm going to be playing more ball than I should have. And consequently, when I get my grades at the end of the second semester first year, it's like almost all C's. And I'm like, oh, man. Oh, snap. Wow. This is not shaping up. You got, you have to have good grades to get those big clerkships and whatnot. So here I am.
So let me interject. How did you tell your parents you made C's?
I told them, they were like, "Hey, well, law school is hard." They,
good.
They were always supportive. They didn't like, "Oh gosh, you're a screw up now." No, they never did that.
Okay.
So
awesome.
So when I'm like, man. And for a minute, there was a little crack in the moral swag.
Mm.
I will admit it, for a moment there was a crack in the swag, and I'm like, you know what, this is not what I expected at all. I mean, I was used to making A's. So I got this. I can remember how I got this. I got this volunteer externship with the Office of County Attorney for Fulton County, and the gig was basically to shadow these people. And whatever work you needed,
right.
I would do it. You give me an assignment, I would, I knew how to do legal research and write a legal memo. I mean, this was what I had studied at Vanderbilt, so I knew how to do those things. Let's forget about the grades that I just described, but okay, I had the foundation to do this. So I was okay, fine. So I started shadowing this guy, my guy Clarence Johnson. He knows this. I've told him he basically saved my life, right?
Mm.
So I'm in there doing the work. And these dudes are blown away. So they were like, look, I know you just finished your first year, but you are already an outstanding attorney. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
You talking to the guy who saw all them C's, but here's somebody in the real world that I'm working for and giving him my work product, and he's saying like, you are the bomb.
Mm.
And that's all the brother needed, man. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about grades, because this is when I can in the real world, and they're telling me that not only can I do it, but I can do it with honor, with some serious respect.
Right.
Okay, I'm good. So what that taught me when I went back in the second year, okay, you can't stop doing the work. Because the grade did not match what you thought you should have gotten. So just go back to doing what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
Do the work. Do your studying, write the outline. And guess what? I started making A's my second and third year in law school.
God has a way of humbling you.
Boom. Right? That
You see what I'm saying? And so let's talk about sports for a second. Kids want to get drafted. Kids get drafted. They've been the best their whole life. Okay? Not really knowing how to handle adversity. Because you come to the league, you're going to be the, how can I say it? For 82 games, you're not going to be the best guy on the floor.
Right.
How can you handle it? Okay, to your point, you was the best in the class up until you made C's. How do you handle that?
Right.
Somebody saw your talent, you were shaking, but you still put in the work. And to be a pro in any professional student, professional citizen, professional parent, you have to put in the work. And at some point, it's going to make sense.
That's a word right there. You have to put in the work.
You
know, do it by itself.
Right.
Taking days off, taking shortcuts. No, I was like, oh no, okay, let me get back to it. And then I felt good about getting back to it. It's like, okay.
Somebody sees my talent. Right.
Here I go. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And but for that event, which was unpaid now, this is a volunteer deal. But for that, who knows whether I would have rebounded on my own? But that absolutely, boom. Okay, I got this. I mean, this was the top person. And she, because I had an assignment with this other brother. Clarence was the guy I was working with, but I had some other assignment for the top attorney in that office. She ended up becoming a judge later on, and she was just like, "Rupert, you don't understand. This is excellent work. They were like blown away, Dave." Can you imagine? Like, here I am. Like,
But that's your standard, though. Your standard is what you've done with no problem. But to them, it was, you're like, hold up. I'm just being on time. I'm professional. My hair is cut. I'm respectable. I send emails on time. My paperwork is, you know what I'm saying?
I read the assignment. Yeah. I perform the assignment.
That's it.
That's what I'm supposed to do.
If y'all not used to that, I'm gonna make it. I'm where I need to be.
It's like, hey, I'm in good company.
I'm in great company. So
yeah.
So let's go to. See, when we start talking, we can just go on. And this is a hot day, so we gotta. I'm trying to get to where I want to get to.
Okay,
so you get this unpaid opportunity. You learn from it. Right. Now, let's talk about you becoming a litigator to a judge. What about that conversation? Who did you talk to kind of push you over the edge?
Glad you mentioned that. So I'm at the courthouse. Ironically, the courthouse where my courtroom is today.
Wow.
Doing my, standing appearance, giving a witness appearance. When I'm going in and doing my thing as a litigator. And I get approached by this judge who says, we've decided that you need to put your papers in and join our group. Huh?
What?
Yeah. The judge approached me and said, we've decided that you need to do this. You need to apply. You need to become a judge. Like, huh? Yeah,
wow.
No. You got the temperament, you got the reputation, you got the intellect. Yeah, you'd be great at that. It never crossed my mind prior to that.
Wow.
I love being a litigator. I love being a trial lawyer. Black law firm. I mean, it was heaven. I mean, come and go as you please.
Right.
Set my own vacation. I had my own team. I had my own book of business. It was good. Life was good as a lawyer. And yeah, it's not like I had anybody to supervise me. I was a partner at the firm, and I had my own team, and I ran it. And so I said, well, I'm going to go to the name partners because I McNeil Wyatt. My name was on the wall, but I was a partner.
Right.
Had my own division. I need to talk to Ricky Ivy about this. I said, well, you go right ahead. You know what he's going to do? He would say, Rupert is in charge of this account. You need to talk to him. So I'm doing all that. So I'm not thinking about the bench.
Right.
I'm not going to the bench at all. I hadn't ever even considered what that would look like. So after that prompting, I proceeded to have about 12 different lunch meetings with judges I had developed relationships over the years.
Right.
I was the type of guy, after I tried a case, I kept in touch with that judge.
Right.
It would be nothing for me
absolutely.
to fall back and change, like, hey, I'm in court, just want to stop by and see how you're doing. So I had these relationships, which is always, there's a saying, a good lawyer knows the law, a great lawyer knows the judge. So keep that in mind, right? So anyway.
Being a good person is never underrated.
Exactly.
You got to be a good person.
Exactly. So I started to have these lunch meetings. I said, listen, so this idea has been presented to me about applying to the bench. What do you think? Every single one of them, all 12 of them. Rupert, are you kidding? You would be excellent at this. The course. This is a no-brainer. Yeah, you should do it.
Wow.
They all were encouraging with a lot of enthusiasm. A lot of enthusiasm.
Wow.
Including 2 judges who were the founding fathers of the law firm. The law firm was sold to the current partners by these 2 guys who owned it, Scarlett and Robertson. They both were elevated to the bench. They sold the firm to the partners, Ivy and McNeil. And we always kept in touch with them. And they were like, oh, yeah, you got to do this. You got to do this. It's the best job. It's going to add 20 years back to your life. You'd be great. And these guys were so passionate about the law and everything. So I went, okay, let me put my papers in. And 2.5 years later, it was a long process. 2.5 years later, got the call from the governor's appointment secretary, and here we are 11 years later.
Wow.
11 years later on the bench.
So 31 years you've been practicing law. Been in law.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how...
Then seems I don't feel that
I'm blown away. I've never known this story. But it goes to say that someone's always watching.
Yes.
Always watching. And especially when you think they're not watching.
And I use that to try to empower my mentees.
Yeah.
At the same time that you guys are looking at me and you come for me with advice, I'm going to tell you, if there's somebody watching you and saying, yeah, I hope I can be like him one day. I hope I can be like her one day.
Right.
So what does that mean? That means you've got to move with excellence at all times.
That's right.
That's just kind of a given with being black in this country.
Right.
You have to move in excellence because they're going to, what I describe as the default demotion.
Okay.
You see the color of your skin and they automatically assume just something less than you.
By default.
By default.
Right.
Until you do something that objectively demonstrates who you are. And I got so many stories on how I've been treated, even as a child, man. This blow you away, like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm asked, am I lost in my own courthouse? Someone asks, like, are you lost? You know where you're going? You know where your case is? If I'm walking the hallway to my own courthouse and someone's asking, do I know where my case is?
Right.
As if I had a case as I was a defendant.
Right.
Like, huh? What does lost look like?
Right.
A black man in a suit? Come on.
Right, with a briefcase. Nice shoes.
You don't belong here. You sure you know where you're going? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it shows that, again, back to your father, because I'm a father's guy, the temperament of your, I'm not, you don't love your mother. She invite you to the house and just say, hey, eat until you can't eat no more. Just take a plate with you,
Absolutely.
But that temperament of, hey, let me think about what just happened before I respond. And we both know that being emotional is one thing, but being emotional in black is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
There were times I'm sure you wanted to, but you just didn't.
Yeah, you can't.
You just can't.
You can't, because it's hard to unring that bell when
We
don't have the luxury of just being, and that's really messed up.
Right.
The society has not come to a place where we can just be without typecasting us into these various stereotypes or pigeonholes. And what we need to do is just normalize excellence, no matter what it looks like, no matter what the color is. Just normalize excellence. Normalize understanding that, just because I come in as a black man, that you have to wonder, how did he get here?
Right.
Does he really know what he's doing? Just watch.
Right.
Watch and take notes like, oh, okay.
Right.
Normalize it.
Right.
It shouldn't be, oh, he's not like the others. Oh, he's, or the microaggressions. This judge was reading something that I wrote about, actually was a tribute to one of the partners who had passed. I gave a nice tribute on my Facebook page. A lot of people say, man, wow, you've really had a nice relationship. This dude said, wow, you write really well.
Wow.
Well, I'm a judge, dude. I mean, I'm not. That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Like you write really well, and you're so well spoken. Get out of here.
I'll tell you, I learned this from a good friend of mine, Dr. Cherie Walker, a good friend of mine, and she would tell me that it would take her an hour to write an email, because you can't write it out of emotion. You want to hit every point, everything that you want to say, and it takes time.
It takes time to synthesize, to get the precise message across
Exactly.
without it being misinterpreted, misconstrued,
right.
because of who the author is.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're saying.
And so, being a doctor, she's written thousands of pages, thousands of emails. And so, it just taught me to never write anything out of emotion. Take some time, sit back.
Take some time. Send it to yourself.
Send it to yourself.
Send it to yourself.
And you'll be surprised.
And then pull it up like, oh, okay, yeah, let's rework this.
Yeah. And so you've been a judge for 11 years. Your parents obviously are incredibly proud of you. How about your children? Do they view you as a superstar, or are you just as my son thinks I'm corny, he thinks I'm lame, he thinks everything.
It's such funny how you say that, because I recently participated in career day at Rupert Junior School. He's in high school, and so I got to talk to him and his students. And I know he looked at me afterwards. He was like, "That was pretty good." And I know he's heard other people say stuff.
Yeah.
But for him to actually to participate and to listen to me give the spiel in terms of this is how one should approach law, and this is why law is important. This is why the rule of law is important. We definitely know that today what we're watching.
Absolutely.
Oh, and he was like, wow. And of course, my baby girl, she said, "Dad, you're a celebrity. You're on the internet and you're in the newspaper." We have a local black newspaper. They've written some nice articles over there. "You're in the newspaper." I said, "Daddy, you're a celebrity." I said, "But no, Daddy's not. I mean, because I'm a semi-public figure, but I'm not a celebrity." But she got a kick out of that. And so they know, and I try to tell them, hey, it's about giving back.
Right.
It's not about me, but it's about what we can do for other people.
Right.
Definitely have to get that in the spirit.
Right. And so I'm like that with my son. We battled a lot. You know, this is like a pulpit. So you got to be careful because you want to share stuff.
Right.
But we battled a lot because he thought that my love for him was only because of sports. He saw my accolades. He saw, how I'm treated, in this small area. And I had to reinforce, you don't have to play sports.
Right.
I'm going to love you regardless.
Exactly.
And I pulled the reins back. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I had to check myself because I don't want my son to be burnt out on anything.
Right. Right.
And I've seen where parents can burn their children out. You know what I mean? Because they want the best, just don't know how to give them the best. And sometimes retreating and pulling back is a love language within itself.
That's it. Say that again.
You know what I mean?
Somebody who's hearing this need to write that down.
Yeah, sometimes you need to pull back. It's the same love language as hovering over your children.
Absolutely.
You know.
The helicopter parent, or even the more extreme, the lawn mowing parent. Like they just move everything out the way so the kid just doesn't have to have any type of adversity. That's a death sentence.
It is dangerous. It's dangerous. See, my son is lucky because when I was his age, even in college, I was cutting grass, washing cars, all the trash.
I had a lawn mowing gig.
Yeah, builds character.
Push that bad boy. Get your gas.
My dad would sit on the front porch and watch me go back and forth for an hour. And I'd be so mad. And I wouldn't look at him mad. I can't, the big respect in the 90s is totally different now. So I want to conclude this interview with Rupert Byrdsong. It's been good because I think I know you, but so many layers to you, so many good layers. You know what I mean? And you carry yourself in a great way. You and I can talk. That's why I don't call you often, because we can talk for hours about sports. You in LA with LeBron and stuff like that. And you have children and you got a lot going on. But man, I am so proud of you. And I love you and I love your family. And hey man, keep frying the fish, brother.
This has been a blessing for me, as I said at the top of the deal, man. Your presence, your example of us growing up, somebody who actually just go to those extra levels. And people talk about, how great David Sutton is, and that's our guy, that's our boy. We grew up with him, and so there was a lot of pride in that. And I thank you for doing what you're doing, and I hope that the audience can appreciate what it is you're doing. You're still giving to this community.
I gotta give, God.
Much love.
That's all I know, how to give, and not being afraid to put myself out there for ridicule.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want my message to be misinterpreted. This is something I want to do, but I gotta help people because I get emails, texts, and inboxes of men that are hurting mentally. Men that have contemplated suicide, contemplated divorce. And so when I say these things publicly, I'm not only helping myself, I'm trying to help others, man. It's all therapeutic for sure.
Absolutely.
It's all therapeutic.
We all, I've said this many times, we all need to laugh more, we all need to cry more.
Preach.
Gotcha.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother podcast.
Well,
so
if I can come back, we go around.
Listen, guy. Listen.
Let me know.
Well, I'm sensitive to your plight. And we talked about this because you was a little concerned. What are we gonna talk about? Listen, surface, fun stuff. Okay, we not, this ain't TMZ. Okay, this ain't the Breakfast Club.
Right. As long as we're not talking about a pending case, I mean, we have obviously I have certain ethics that, limit my commentary on certain things. But we can talk about me. We can talk. That's all part of it. I mean, I teach a pre-trial litigation class at the University of West Los Angeles, right? And in addition to just the hardcore lessons. And this is the anatomy of a litigated case, and this is how you should approach it from the pleading, from the discovery, from the law in motion, from the ADR, from the trial, from the post-trial, from the appeal. In addition to all that, I just try to break it down in terms of, look, I want you to be the best advocate you can be. Guess what? You realize that your end game is not to win your case. Your end game is to represent your client's interest. Right. And sometimes that may not mean winning the case. And when they think about it, somebody's like, wow. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Oh no, you represent your client's interest. Right. That's what you're supposed to be, an advocate. Right. An advocate. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to themselves. But I love that class. We can talk about that.
How many students in your class?
It varies. So this past semester, which was nice, I only had 4. We broke them up.
Oh my goodness. That is a teachable class.
Dude.
Oh man.
So we can break them up. And so two of the students were represented plaintiff's firm, and the other 2 students represented defense firm. So we have this packet where they actually go through and get the case ready for trial. Yeah. They have to do the depositions and go through the evidence and the witness statements. And I'm walking like, this is how you're going to do it in the real world. The semester before, we had like 32, so I had 8 firms of 4. Right, and that was nice because again, now they get to do these exercises in front of everybody else, and I get to critique them. Okay, that was pretty good. And why did you ask that? And so this is all nice and applied, and that theoretical nonsense. This is stuff that when they actually go out into the real world, they'll know how to make an argument. They'll know how to present themselves in front of the court. Because I treat them as if this is my court. I'm like, okay, what you got? Right. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like fun. Well, we're going to close with that. And if you like what you have heard and listened and all the other good stuff, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll come back with you next time. We out. Peace.